Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and I'm going to kind of skirt over this because most of my viewers are laser engravers and they're really never going to use this. Now, there is some times, so this is making a scroll saw pattern to actually duplicate this pattern that somebody sent me, but he wanted it a rectangle. I just did 2 videos on how to do a square, but I actually did a rectangle this morning and it came out pretty good. And I just thought how I would show how I came up with it. And if you haven't watched the first 2 videos, you're going to be a little bit lost, but I was able to add nodes. On this side, there's going to be less nodes and they're not going to be equal because my box is 5 by 5 2/8 or 5.28. These nodes were 0.88 inches apart. So I knew it needed 5 nodes here to make it kind of work. So I made 5 times 0.88 is 4.40. And with your nudge factor set, let's say on 1/4 of an inch, when you grab that node and you press your arrow down, it changes at 1/4 of an inch and it changes the whole thing. So you need to make these 2 nodes 4.40 first and stretch your box till it comes to 4.40, and then you can add these nodes. Now, instead of taking the time over here where I just have 3 nodes, if you have snap to objects or snap to everything selected, when you bring in a guideline, it'll snap to that node. It'll snap to that node. Especially if you're near the node, it's going to snap to that node. So now I can change these nodes over here to this. And all I have to do is just move it up, move it up, move it up. And I need to add one more. I just add it right there. Now these aren't maybe perfect, and if I was doing it, I would, double check like that node's not perfectly on the dot. And there it is. So if you'll do that with all your nodes, just go through there, and there's really no way to get it to snap to it, I don't think, because of the fact that it's already snapped to the other one. Then once you have these things close, we'll do one more. See, it's just a hair off. I hope you can see that in video. Now you can take these guidelines away. You could do it 2 ways, but I'm just going to delete them real quick. So now your box is equal. We'll go ahead and take away, well, you know what? I'm going to make a copy of this, Control D. Always make a copy in case something messes up. Let's go and delete these numbers that we do not need anymore. So I've got 0.88 between each node. So they should be equal. And we'll just see real quick if it works. So I'm going to move it to the center of the page. If you've watched enough of my videos, you know I like working in the center of the page. Just move these up out of the way. Put this in the center of the page. Now we've got our nudge factor set on 0.25. So I'm going to take my shape tool and I'm going to go outward with this 0.25. Whoop. One more step we have to do. Back up there. Select everything with your shape tool. Right click your mouse and turn to a curve. Now we're going to go outward 1 click, downward 1 click. Outward, downward, outward. Something doesn't look right. Let's start over. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now on this side, because of the fact that we went out, we want to go in. I'm going left mouse button, or left or right arrow. So I'm doing just the opposite. Now, up here, you need to do just the opposite. So we went inward. This time we want to go outward. Inward. Outward. Inward. Here, we want outward, so we want in, out, in, out, in. So I'm just hitting the up and down arrow keys. Now this is definitely one you want to contour to the outside. We're going to contour to 1/2 inch. And this isn't going to be perfect. You might have to play around with it. We'll do yellow, get it out of the way. We'll change it. You know what? We'll do this one red. Get it out of the way. Let's move our lines out of the way. So we've got red, we'll press P on the keyboard, yellow, P on the keyboard, but this time we're going to mirror it. And there's your pretty nice basket. I think this would work. And you could play around with it, and you know, the thing about it, once you have your nodes done, I think because of the fact that we were playing around and moving the nodes, I think once you've got your node set, you could change this basket size. See, this is 16 inches across. We could actually, and it's a contour, so you can't see some things, but you could actually reduce this in size, and it wouldn't really change up your nodes too much. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.